afford to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q Broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Stars. And the best part? There are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
We live in a world where men are told it's harmless. It's just entertainment. But let's stop lying to ourselves. Pornography destroys. It weakens your spirit. It dulls your drive. And it robs you of what real intimacy is supposed to be. Every click is a step away from the man you're supposed to be. We can't call ourselves leaders if we are slaves to a screen.
As someone that is prior service, I know all about discipline. And discipline isn't out there, it's within your mind. Porn rewires your brain, weakens your will, wrecks all of your relationships. It doesn't just stay on a screen, it invades your marriage, your confidence, and your actual purpose. As men, if we don't learn to discipline ourselves, we'll be ruled by our impulses. Now, it is time to stand up and take control before this silent war takes more than you're willing to lose.
Real men don't hide in the shadows of shame. We step up and we protect what's ours. We fight for our wives and kids, our own hearts. Twitter isn't just an app, it's a weapon. It's a tool used to break free and start living like the man that you're meant to be. The battle's here and it starts with you. You can stop living in shame and you can break free today.
Here at the andAmerica age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the andAmerica age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at andAmericaage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrissey?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement, then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems.
What?
I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Here at the andAmerica age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the andAmerica age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at andAmericaage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morrissey?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle. She's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very... Her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very...
Rio and Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John H. Project. Propagating truth in a world of...
Trust no one.
H. Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age, and I am your host, John Age, coming at you in the wee hours of the AM. You're headlong down the runaway train. I will definitely be taking you well into the dark side of the AM this evening, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Please coming at you in the wee hours. AnomiCage.com if you've not already done so. Definitely taking you well into the likes of the AM this evening. Subscribe to all the subscriptions. PayPal.me/AnomicAge, Patreon.com not already done /AnomicAge as well. That's the best place you can go to help me to find all things PayPal.me/Cash app, the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, AnomicAge as well. Patreon, the best place you can go to help me all that and so to find more. All right there. Right there at AnomicAge. The Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. So please consider becoming a patron. Don't say that enough around here, but your contributions definitely help. Right there. So please do consider becoming a patron, or you can just make it a one-time donation. So please consider becoming a patron. Don't say that enough. Free iPhone app, free newsletter, free Android app, subscribe by email. It's all there. You can just make it a one-time donation. It's hard to believe we're actually newsletter, all the way up to, let me see, app, subscribe by email. It's all there. Episode. It's hard to believe we're 506. Goodness, I almost couldn't believe it my darn self. Episode 506 here in the Anomic Age. Episode information breakdown segments. Variety 6. Goodness, usually don't do a show on the weekends. Episode 506 here in the Anomic Age. Off days, but I had to record information breakdown segments. Right. Man, we got the crazy of all crazies, don't we? We got the off days, but I had military industrial complex. Man, that's we got the crazy. What we are dealing with today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still identify industrial complex humans. We got episode 506, Maduro, Israel, and boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still for conquest. My goodness, we got episode 506 out there, really, folks. Maduro, Israel, there's a lot of different ways you can label, repackage, or possibly even repurpose conquest. My goodness. The mess really, that's been going on. So we've been repacking a couple of Venezuela's oil tankers a couple weeks ago. Then we started doing strikes on Venezuela. So we do believe just before the new year. A couple of Venezuela's oil and then just tankers. I don't even know. A couple weeks ago, 24 hours ago. Then we started doing strikes. Excuse me. Just before the new year. Not even 24 hours ago. And then we have kidnapped. I don't even know. 24 hours ago. Their president. Excuse me. Maduro. We've taken Maduro hostage, basically. We've gone not even 24 hours. He's allegedly in the same club fed their president. Maduro. We've taken Maduro hostage, basically. We've got so this is all in the same club fed that Venezuela is this huge provider of drugs and all under the guise of, oh, goodness gracious, he's a communist dictator. How the bleep is that any different than China, this folks? Huge provider of drugs. And so even though Mexico is really giving he's a communist, US 99% rough estimate of the drug supply, which is obviously really just coming from China in the first place. That's the big fentanyl I guess you could call it the
99%
new golden
rough
triangle
estimate of supply, which is obviously
so China's
really
giving
just
it to
coming from
Mexico.
China in the first
Mexico's
place.
importing it north of
and
the
all,
border into Los Estados Unidos.
you could call it the
But
new
we're
golden
attacking
triangle.
Venezuela.
So China's
Well, that makes perfect sense.
bringing it north of the border into Los Estados Unidos.
I got
But we're
to show you. I don't even know where to begin.
Venezuela.
We'll throw up this one for right now, and we'll go over it a
Well,
little bit.
that makes perfect sense.
So, how to qualify for Team America, the puppet show. Let's take a gander at some of these lovely individuals, because we've already got Maria Machado waiting in the wings to take over. But here's the real deal, Holyfield. Here's some problems. You got Dulcie, waiting in the wings, Dulcie to take over. I believe that's her name. If not, apologies.
But here's the real deal, Holyfield. Here's the
Dulcie
problem.
Rodriguez.
You got
She's
Dulcie,
the actual VP. She hasn't been kidnapped.
Dulcie.
So allegedly
believe that's her name.
Maduro's
If not,
wife is
apologies.
deceased. Maduro's been kidnapped. He's in a club fed with Diddy. The actual
hasn't been
VP
kidnapped.
of Venezuela,
So
Rodriguez,
allegedly,
she's a female.
Maduro's
She's
wife
going,
is
yeah.
deceased. Maduro's been kidnapped.
I'm not
in a
down
club
with
fed
this.
with Diddy.
We're not going to.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John H. Project. Propagating truth.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age, and I am your host, John Age, coming at you in the wee hours of the AM. I will definitely be taking you well into the dark side of the AM this evening, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Please check out andAmerica.com if you've not already done so. Please like all the likes, subscribe to all the subscriptions. PayPal.me/AnomicAge, Patreon.com/AnomicAge as well. That's the best place you can go to help me to find all things Anomic Age. We got the Cash App, the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, the Patreon, the Lightning Link, and all that and so much more. Right there at AnomicAge.com. So please consider becoming a patron. Don't say that enough around here, but your contributions definitely help. So please do consider becoming a patron, or you can just make it a one-time donation. Stop anytime you want. Free iPhone app, free newsletter, free Android app, subscribe by email. It's all there at anomicage.com. It's hard to believe we're actually all the way up to, let me see, I've almost forgot. Episode 506. Goodness, I almost couldn't believe it my darn self. Episode 506 here in the Anomic Age. Information breakdown segments variety. Usually don't do a show on the weekends. Usually don't do a show sort of on the off days, but I had to record one today. Man, we got the crazy of all crazies, don't we? We got the your military-industrial complex. That's exactly what we are dealing with today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still identify as human. We got episode 506, Maduro, Israel, and America's war machine for conquest. My goodness, it's disgusting out there, really, folks. There's a lot of different ways you can label, repackage, or possibly even repurpose the mess that's been going on. So we've been pirating a couple of Venezuela's oil tankers a couple weeks ago. Then we started doing strikes on Venezuela, I do believe, just before the new year. And then just, I don't even know, not even 24 hours ago now. Excuse me. Not even 24 hours ago now, we have kidnapped their president, Maduro. We've taken Maduro hostage, basically. We've gone in and kidnapped him. He's allegedly in the same club fed as Diddy. Hope it ain't no Diddy party going on up in there. I don't think Maduro's into that sort of thing. So this is all allegedly under the guise that that Venezuela is this huge provider of drugs, and also under the guise of, oh, goodness gracious, he's a communist dictator. How the bleep is that any different than China, folks? It's not. So even though Mexico is really giving the U.S. 99% rough estimate of their drug supply, which is obviously really just coming from China in the first place, that's the big fentanyl. I guess you could call it the new golden triangle. So China's giving it to Mexico. Mexico's importing it north of the border into Los Estados Unidos. But we're attacking Venezuela. Well, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I got to show you. I don't even know where to begin. We'll throw up this one for right now, and we'll go over it a little bit even. So, how to qualify for Team America, the puppet show. Let's take a gander at some of these lovely individuals, because we've already got Maria Machado waiting in the wings to take over. But here's the real deal, Holyfield. Here's some problems. You got Dulcie, D-E-L, Dulcie, C-Y. I believe that's her name. If not, apologies. Lo siento. Dulcie Rodriguez. She's the actual VP. She hasn't been kidnapped. So allegedly Maduro's wife is deceased. Maduro's been kidnapped. He's in a club fed with Diddy. The actual VP of Venezuela, Rodriguez, she's a female. She's going, yo, I'm not down with this. We're not going to stand down and allow this regime change. She's calling this exactly what it is. She's actually saying this is a Zionist coup. We're not going down without a fight. We got the Venezuela military saying we're not stepping down without a fight either. They're definitely circling the wagons there. And this just gives you a little rundown. We got Maria Machado. She's definitely a wall kisser. She's all up the backside of Israel. And let's just take a look at some of these other folks that we got on the screen there. We got Syrian leader there. We got the Iran leader there. And we got the Mexico leader there too. Sheinbaum, another Israel first Israeli Jewish female in charge. I don't know how they didn't get a female leader in Syria and Iran. I don't know. They're attempting a regime change in Iran right about now, too, in case you hadn't figured that one out. And this is all just smoke and mirrors. This is all just gaslighting par excellence. Because people were getting a little bit too close to the truth, I guess, with the invasion of Minnesota by the Muslims. And most importantly, we got balls and the Muslim cartels up there running all kinds of NGO fraud, all kinds of fake daycares just in abandoned buildings and parking lots and so forth. The usual suspect garbage that you would expect from the communist low-class bottom feeder, floor-flushing trash. And then everybody was abuzz for not even 24 hours, maybe like 20 hours, was abuzz saying, oh, it's even worse in California. Well, duh. Like the only difference is it's not controlled by Muslims in California. That's the only difference. You got a puppet governor who's a communist boob. You got an influx of illegals, and you've got the same bleeped up system. So instead of Ilhan Omar, you've got whatever that drunk broad was that's finally stepping down after like 50 plus years in politics. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. We finally got Barbara Boxer out there a couple years ago, and we've still got Crypt Keeper Pelosi hanging on. Anyway, we got so much more to roll through. Here's Maduro in his own words. And this might surprise some of you because, let me see. Well, I'll give you kind of the two faces of Maduro. Here's Maduro a few years ago. Here's Maduro claiming that he's actually Jewish origin as well. Yeah, this is Maduro from many years ago, actually. Venezuelan president, my grandparents were Jewish. Nicolas Maduro denying his government is anti-Semitic, said his grandparents were Sephardic Jews. Well, heavens to Murgatroyd. So he had Maduro saying this, and he also got Maduro saying that. Let me see if I can give you a little cliff notes for you. Those Jews of the 12 tribes who are not in charge today in the state of Israel, those who rule Netanyahu today are not authentic Jews. I'm just reading it for you, folks. He is a calabash who comes from Poland. For those who like to talk about religions and say that this is a religious conflict, no, this is not a religious conflict. The conflict that exists since the foundation of the state of Israel is a geopolitical conflict. Because the state was created to conquer all of the Middle East and Central Asia and to take away its riches. And these peoples is the Zionist project, who say they're going from the River Jordan to the Euphrates and beyond. All right, I'm going to stop it there because I think you get a rundown. I'm translating and reading for you at the same time. So that is also Nicolas Maduro. So he's basically saying, yo, his grandparents were Sephardic Jews, but he also knows the score. He knows the deal. He knows the whole state of Israel is a sham. He knows the people there are not Semitic. And he even lays out with old BB from Poland. And this is funny. I didn't bring this up, but or I didn't pull this up, excuse me. But we did have Maduro on his, I guess it would be kind of his New Year's Eve broadcast or whatever. I don't know if it was a broadcast or if he was just sort of getting on camera and speaking a little bit, not a formal broadcast. But he was saying he is a definite Christian and he was putting his faith in Jesus. So, I mean, I'm just throwing more, what in the, more oddities of oddities that we can throw on the fire here. Then we got Trump from, ironically enough, from Greensboro, North Carolina. This is when he was, I believe, on the campaign trail for his last regime's tour here. But let's just take a listen. I remember hearing this. I wasn't there, but hearing it live time, I was watching it at the time. And I just went, that's a little piece of information to put in our pocket, isn't it? Let's listen.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
Oh, it would have been great.
But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this? Nobody can believe it. You know where the oil, their oil is garbage. It's horrible. The worst you can get, tar. It's like tar. And to refine it, you need special plants. And these people, how about...
Okay, so that was him on the campaign trail. And let's pull up another one. This is Laura Richardson, another female in big office here. She's the Southern Command Chief, and she's going to give you a little bit more information about Venezuela. Isn't this strange?
Of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. You just have the largest oil reserves, light sweet crude, discovered off of Guyana over a year ago. You have Venezuela's resources as well, with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have the 31% of the world's fresh water in this region too. I mean, it's just off the charts. We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game.
So that's the deal, folks. That's the realness. And this is on the heels of Bibi coming for the 5th time in a year. Somebody checked me that on the other show, and he did visit Biden more than 5 times in the 4 years he was in office, but definitely not 5 times in 1 year. So there you go. Good job fact checking. So Bibi just left, and ironically enough, Bibi leaves. Iran goes to Pluy, and we kidnap Maduro and invade Venezuela full scale. That's pretty ironic, isn't it? So some other oddities that you just heard from Richardson there was the talk of the oil, which is kind of self-evident. And we've already had the folks in the Middle East saying, yo, if the U.S. floods the market with their oil, we're going to pull back our reserves and raise prices. Huh, that's nice. So we got Richardson talking about the water, the lithium, and the oil. Another big thing coming out of there is silver. In case you haven't looked at the markets lately, silver's through the roof. I think the other day I looked and it was up to like $70 for 1 ounce of silver. And yeah, they got a lot of silver there too. One thing we don't actually have a lot of in real supply in the United States is silver. Yeah, you might want to look into that, because our actual tangible hold it in your hand supply silver, not so much. What else we got? All right, this is the woman. This is old Kissawall. I'm just going to put this on the screen too, that they are dying to put in there. Nobel Peace Laureate Machado pledges support for Israel. Oh my goodness, I'm so shocked. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Here's old Kissy Kiss on the wall. Yeah, that's her again. So that's who they actually want to put in power. But we got the female VP Rodriguez saying not so fast. They're already circling the wagons with the military. And here's another oh darn. You've also got China, North Korea, and Russia all throwing their hat in the ring, condemning what went down in Venezuela. And you basically got, I should have wrote all these down. You had Spain coming out condemning what went down, saying they're putting their money behind Venezuela. You had Chile. Oh, goodness, I'm blanking on some of this. I think it's Venezuela also. Mexico's condemning this. So you've got some big superpowers in the works as far as China and Russia coming out and saying, yeah, you need to back off. And you got old Kim Jong-un or whatever he's over there in North Korea talking about, yo, I'm backing my boys in Venezuela there. So this is looking terrible, folks. I can't say it or put it any other way. You've got the cult members that are just going to support everything and anything that dear old Chairman Trump pulls, no matter what. But this is looking just ghastly. And, I forgot to throw this out there. While this is all going on, while we're seemingly on the precipice of a World War IV, because we already know 3 was the Cold War, or if you want to count 3 as just this endless string of wars since Vietnam, where we've doing these non-military actions, humanitarian efforts all over the blipping globe. Oh, and by the way, Trump's in some great company. He's the only president to bomb 8 countries in 1 year. Yeah, that's your peace president. That's the president that ran on stopping all wars and peace. No wars have been stopped. The joke peace treaty that was between Israel and Palestine, joke. The joke, we're going to put an end to the Ukraine-Russian war, joke. You can't put an end to these wars when you continue to fund them. Does that make sense to anyone out there at all? So we continue to fund the Ukraine and wonder why the war hasn't stopped. We continue to fund Israel and wonder why the peace hasn't taken. This is downright comedic, folks. It's comedic. And again, while all this is going on, while we're at the precipice of World War IV, you've got Trump out there bloviating, bombastically throwing out there that, next, we're going to go into Cuba, perhaps. Next, I got my sights on Mexico, perhaps. He already said this today. Those are the next 2 countries that he's looking into. These are other free nations. I don't give a rat's backside if they're communist, socialist, or fruit bat. I don't care. They're not our problem. You know what is our problem? Funding other countries. You know what is our problem? Well, let's see. Let's put this on the screen because it's so emblematic of what's actually going on. By the numbers, folks, this is our problem. This is our problem. Yeah. This. Russian collusion hoax, no arrest. January 6th, no arrest. Mar-a-Lago raid, nothing. Biden out-of-pin, 0. 2020 election stolen, not a thing. Epstein client list, no way. COVID hoax, not a chance. Benghazi, nothing going on. Dodge findings, 0 has been done. Ukraine impeachment hoax, 0 has been done. How about Comey? 0 has been done. You just keep rolling these out, huh? Nothing's happened. Any of these things. Anthony Witter laptop, nothing has been done. Barry Soetoro, Big Mike, nothing has been done. Hills and Bill, 0. Not a thing. So it seems that we can go to other countries' sovereign territory, blow up their mess, kidnap their leader, run away to America. And by the way, this guy, Maduro's in jail in America. He's in the same club fed with Diddy. Does that make any sense to anyone? What the bleep is going on? So we can kidnap a guy from his own country, but we can't do jack diddly dog about the